Hey, this episode, we're talking about breaking the habit of people pleasing. Who doesn't need that? So keep watching. This is really important for dating. Take notes.
All I want is just to be me, 'cause what I feel is free. And I don't always want to watch what I'm eating, 'cause chocolate gets the best of me. And if I ride my bike, it's to get from A to B. Yeah.
Hi, Macy here from Love Vibe TV. Welcome. I am your big happy love coach here to support you on your love path. And today I'm here with baby monster. Adorable. And I want to talk today about breaking the habit of people pleasing, because this is a doozy and I see it all the time. And really, it's about really connecting into our own voice. And when we feel like we have to kind of take care of everything and make everyone else happy and put everyone else first, then we're totally denying our voice. And it can feel really bad. And it's terrible for your love vibe, because it's not a love attractor, because it just totally confuses the universe, because you're doing things that you don't actually mean, right? So the danger of this is, one, you're neglecting yourself. You're not paying attention to what it is you really want. And when this happens over time, you don't even know what your preferences are. You don't even know what you really want. You don't even know who you are. So I hear this from moms a lot. Like, they've spent years and years raising their kids, and then their kids go off to college and they're like, I don't even know who I am. So it's really critical to continuously tune back into yourself and start developing that relationship, especially if you want to date and create an amazing, loving partnership. I think one thing that is a kind of hang up here is that we're thinking, when we're people pleasing, that maybe we're creating harmony or doing something good or keeping the peace or not hurting people's feelings. And oftentimes we still are hurting people's feelings by doing that. And we're certainly not doing ourselves any favors. Let me give you an example related to dating. So if you were to meet some guy and you weren't crazy about him and he seemed really interested in you, but you gave him your number anyway because you're just like, oh, okay, I better just give him my number. And then he was like, oh, let's go out in a couple weeks. I would love to take you, da-da-da-da. And you're thinking, oh no, oh, please don't call. And like, you're not into it. And yet you let it keep going. And maybe he even does call you and you don't really answer the phone, or he's texting you and you're kind of texting back. You just think about like how you are feeling. Like, you're feeling like yucky, and that energy just is going to attract more yuckiness into your life. So you want to be really aware of that, because in the law of attraction, like attracts like. So whatever you are vibrating within you, you're going to attract more of that. So this is huge. This is so important. And you can see in that dating example, like, you just let it go on, and then maybe you just let it fizzle out, and maybe you just stop answering. And then we'll flip the tables, okay? So when we flip the table, and then you're interested in someone, and you're really excited, and he was like, oh yeah, I'll call you. And then you're waiting around. You're like, when is he going to call me? Is he going to call me? What am I going to do? And you're like really excited about it. And then you're starting to worry about it. And then you're starting to second guess. And you're going through this kind of torturous process. And notice how that feels on the other side. So when we're thinking, we're just like, oh, I'll just give him my number and it's okay and we'll just let it be. Then why are we thinking that that is like being nice or not hurting someone's feelings? I mean, ultimately, you're hurting someone's feelings. So with the caveat that you don't always know right away if you really like someone, but if you do, if you really do know, oh my God, this guy is totally just boring and not for me, then be honest with yourself and just have the courage. It's really challenging, I know, but it takes almost mentally rehearsing this. So just imagining that when it's not right, the best thing you can do is just say, thank you, but I'm not feeling it in that way. And let it go. Or if you realize soon after, you know what, I shouldn't have done that, I'm not interested, then call them up. Send them a message that says, I just want to be honest. I'm not feeling this, and move on. Like, really keep your energy clean and clear, because those same things will then happen to you. So you just want to treat people the way you want to be treated. So that is a big long story about how people pleasing can be misunderstood as like doing someone a favor, and it's really not. So let me share these 5 keys to helping you break this habit of people pleasing. So listening to yourself, tuning in to what's true for me, and responding from there, rather than responding from, well, I need to say that to him because if I don't, it's going to hurt their feelings, or I don't want them to not like me if I say that, or I just want everyone to accept me. And doing that doesn't even mean that people are going to like you. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. You cannot control that, and the way you screw it up the fastest is not being honest with yourself and really with others. So letting go of that, letting go of what you think you're supposed to do, and just doing what you want to do. And if you don't know, maybe you need a little time to just to contemplate it, and that's okay. But I know that when you can come back to you, the answer is there. Whether it needs a little time or not, the answer is there. So you are the only you, so you do you the way you do you. The second one is really understanding your preferences, starting to explore what it means. When we're in the people-pleasing mode, oftentimes we aren't really clear on our yeses and on our nos. So we get in this like mushy space. In fact, we don't even often use the words yes and no. So noticing, are you that person that's just like, well, maybe I could sometimes, often, well, only if, and well, okay, and yikes, like just let go of that static and start noticing it. And I'm just going to demand right now that just by talking about this with you and sharing this with you, that it's like we're inserting a little like chip in your awareness, that the next time you start going on that mushy, like, well, maybe, and sometimes, and sort of like, that it's going to be like, an alarm's going to go off in you that says, oh, wow, I'm like in that wishy-washy place. Watch for that. It really works. Notice it. I want to hear from you. So I want to challenge you to practice this. So do this. Next time you're driving, going to do an errand or whatever, just start practicing. You see stuff. Wow. Taco Bell. No. Dairy Queen. Yes. Squirrel. Yes. Guy in retro pantsuit. Yes. This is just to get that energy in of just being like, yes, no, yes, no, and feel that in your cells, because that starts awakening your voice. And that's really what we want to do, is we want to really develop that clarity and certainty that you can just say yes or no. And just practice, just going through and saying yes or no and just feeling it as you do that. Awesome. Is it a deal? Yes or no? That's the answer. I'm hearing you all go, yes. Okay. Great. Next one. Experience you. So practicing taking time, just connecting to you and being quiet and just sitting and just meditating and observing what it's like to be in your body and be who you are. And that's with no labels, no titles, nothing. But wow, what does the energy feel like? So closing your eyes, taking some deep breaths, keeping your spine straight, and just breathing. Noticing the sensations in your body. Noticing the temperature in the room. Noticing just vibrations within you. And including all the sounds that you hear around you. So just noticing those sounds and just being present with yourself. This is what meditation's all about, is starting to really develop a deeper awareness of who you are. And that will help you get more clear on what it is that you need and what's important for you. When you do start using your yeses and nos in conversations with other people, and you have that courage to say, no, I'm not interested in that right now, then practicing leaving it at that. Because sometimes we can say, no, and here's why, because I have to do this and I shouldn't have done that, so I need to spend the time going here, and I have to take my grandma here, and well, next time I probably will, so don't worry. And like telling this whole story afterwards is just that. It's just a bunch of extra stuff, and it's really, really trying to convince yourself of your choice, and you don't have to do that. Be confident in your decision and let it be. Obviously, at any time in your experience, you can come back and say, hey, I changed my mind. I do want to do this, if it's authentically what you're feeling. But when we add in all this extra blah, 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 and even more, sometimes we'll add in apologies, like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't, I want to come, but I don't. But like, if just let yourself be clear, just let go of all that other stuff and practice this. And it does take practice. I mean, that's the key. Because oftentimes we're apologizing. We don't even need to apologize. Like, what's there to apologize for? If you're just saying, no, I don't want to join you for dinner or whatever it is, there's nothing to apologize for. And often we recreationally apologize, and it's just a waste of energy. And it's really degrading yourself and thinking that you did something wrong when you didn't. So psychically, it's terrible for our being to continuously act like we did something wrong when we didn't. So really be clean about that. Like, if you literally did like back into someone's car or something, then yeah, you can apologize for that. But if you're just making a decision that you don't feel like going out to this crazy Halloween party tonight because you're really tired and you'd like to stay home, then you just say, I'm not up for it, and that's it. Like, you don't have to explain anything. You don't have to say sorry, because it doesn't call for that. And then the final one is to let go of what you believe is the fallout from you saying no to something or making a decision for yourself that in other cases you may have wanted to just comply. So letting go of thinking that someone's not going to like you, that they're not going to accept you, that, you know, you're doing something wrong, because you can't control any of that. You can't manipulate the entire world. I mean, truthfully, on a bigger scale, everything has already been written. So the guidance we have is guiding us to the right choices, and we have to trust that. That's all we need to do. It's very simple, like trusting what feels good for you and following that path is the answer.
Bountiful, blissful, and beautiful. Bountiful, blissful, and beautiful I am. I am bountiful, blissful, and beautiful. Bountiful, blissful, and beautiful I am.
So in summary, really the guide to breaking our people-pleasing habits really is to connect with yourself in deeper ways. And I really call this connecting to our higher self, that part of us that already knows what to do, that already has been with you for lifetimes and gives you that kind of good feeling that says, this is what I really want. And when we can listen to that inside teacher, then we are supported. So practicing your yeses and your nos, start really bringing focus to your preferences in general, just on basic things, and using your voice to say yes, no, yes, no. So you start feeling that in you. Taking time to just get quiet with yourself every once in a while, to just notice, what it feels like to be you. Sensing that, so that when you do notice a change, whether it feels uncomfortable or it feels kind of juicy and good, then you can see the difference. If you're not aware of what you're your being feels like on a neutral level, then it's really going to be hard to sense it when you do need to make a decision. And then letting go of feeling like you have to explain things away and apologize and really yuck it up with a bunch of stories and excuses or whatever comes out. Letting go of that and just allowing yourself to be enough with just knowing yes and no. And then finally, letting go of your ideas about what this ripple effect is going to be from your decisions, because it's all made up and it usually creates drama within you, and that equals stress. So don't choose that. Just don't go there. It's up to you. You're responsible for you. Thanks for joining. I would love to hear your comments as usual, and post them below. Practice your yeses and nos, and I can't wait to see you next week. Bye.
All I want is just to be me, 'cause what I feel is free. And I don't always want to watch what I'm eating, 'cause chocolate